Alright, I feel like I should probably get around to finally doing a little home gym tour of my garage gym. It's in a one-car garage spot. Used to be a wood shop on this side. Had to move it around. Now I have all of the woodworking and tools on the other half of the garage, where this had been separated by my power cage on this side, but now I have that mess of tools and cabinet project I'm working on right now, where my rack was there. This back half was workbenches and stuff like that, so I kind of moved it around because I needed a little more dedicated room, and I was kind of getting tired of it being in the middle, having to go from one end to the other, having to get through a power cage to get some to the my projects I was working on. So there's still some of it here that I haven't moved. These giant shelves, one of them I might end up keeping. This one behind me, which has basically paints and some assorted tools and whatnot, and then two shelves are basically a giant speaker and my wraps and phone charger and shaker, whatever, shelf. But this second one, kind of right here behind me, that one's gonna end up going. It still has tools. I just have to hang it up on the other spot because it's gets in the way a little bit of where the my deadlift platform area, and kind of if I want to press out of the rack, it's in the way just a little bit. But that's something in the future that I'm going to adjust, but kind of show you, start from the cage and move my way back. So here's the view of the kind of setup. It is in a one-car garage slot. This platform is 10 by 8. 8-foot sheet of plywood. It's 2 feet behind it. I left it for the lap pull down tower. I got some of my plates up here. Some of the wood is kind of transitioning back here, but kind of working on that. A pile of crap I don't really use that much. Older sleeves and whatnot, and then my weight chain setup. Bottle of ammonia, probably from the last time I threw it down after using it. I got my bumper plates, my Cerberus iron plates on the outside of it. Tend to use these the most, so I like to keep them up here because I tend to deadlift with those. And so here is the Rep Fitness bench. I used to have one of the cheap Dick's Sporting Goods benches. But I was a little nervous. I'm on it as I'm pushing like 260, 265, and then I was bench pressing 350, so didn't know if I could trust that bench that much. So adjustable incline, adjustable footrest and seat. Pretty decent bench. I like it. Pads are firm, so that's good. Here is the pull down. I have a rope kind of just up there right now from the last time I did some tricep extensions. I have the Titan Monolift arms. I like them for bench. I wouldn't say they're the best for squatting. I still walk it out. But I like not having to be right up against the cage when I unrack it. So they work well enough for squats. I really like them for bench press though. They work really well. This is the Titan power cage I have. Still have a pull-up bar up there. I didn't know where to put it, so I kind of unbolted it when I got the pull-down tower attachment for it. So kind of just left it up there. But it's the T3 2-inch by 3-inch cage. Works fairly well. Haven't had any issues on it. Yeah, it comes with the weight pegs, so you got those ones, and then these up here, and then it has the band pegs, which when they're not being used as band pegs, they hold my clips. Here's kind of a random assortment, some grip stuff, couple of hand guards my wife likes to use, brand new knee wraps I haven't used, and then some landmine and some grip implements in the mix. Lights that I'll probably put back up eventually. Jack pull down, wide grip pull down bar. My crash pads from Titan. They work pretty well for log. Some massage gun in, my sleeves from Cerberus Strength, and some more figure 8 straps. Those are the axle straps. I don't tend to use them very often. I end up using them to attach chains and stuff like that to them instead. And then over here, we got the weight tower with a bunch of irons on it. We got standard plates, and then we have the Dick's Sporting Goods irons, which I started with. We got some Wagon wheels in the corner on the shelf that I have to put back up. Still got to put up the timer. But got a Saxon bar, the Hex bar, trap bar. I'm going to end up having to get the Titan one probably, as I maxed that bar out and can't fit any more weight on it, so I'll have to get a bigger bar. I got this Rogue multi-grip bar. Honestly, buy the Titan one. The quality is just the same on this bar. I bought the Rogue one just because the Titan one wasn't in stock. There's nothing too amazing about it. Don't overpay for it, personally. Titan bar, it's a good beginner bar. It's what I started with. Worked pretty well. I switched over to the Ohio power bar here. That's what I tend to use the most. Back over here we have a Spud Inc. truck pull harness. My bands, kind of hidden behind my knee wraps, which are just airing out. Some more straps and bands, and then a jump rope. Then we got the axle bars. Top one's a 2 3/8 inch axle, so same thickness handle as a Thomas inch. The standard 2-inch axle, and then my deadlift bar. It's a Valor Fitness. Pretty decent. I was pretty happy with it. The knurling's not as awesome as the Ohio power bar is, but the bar is actually pretty decent for the price. So I was pretty happy with that. And we got Cerberus belt, sandbags. The red ones, Cerberus are, 100 pounds, 135, 175, 220, 250, and 300, and then that black one's a 200. Some more chain, Thomas inch dumbbell, battle ropes, which I have yet to use yet. Got that for mostly doing truck pull, so I haven't been training that just yet. So still tied up in the stack neatly. We got dumbbells and some kettlebells. I primarily use kettlebells. I do have some plate loading dumbbell handles, which are hidden back here to actually get some decent weight. These ones, the Ethos ones I picked up at Dick's Sporting Goods during COVID. They got a shipment in. I happened to be there the day they got them in, so I went and picked all those up. Paint never dried on it, so if you touch any of the letters or the numbers, you got paint on your hands. Kettlebells, stuff's a little dusty. I do blow it off with a blower because I do woodworking, but it likes to stick to the kettlebells and the dumbbells for some reason more than anything else. A little bit of sand left over for sandbags. I do have a 350-pound sandbag I still have to fill. Sled handles are inside my Husafell stone, but that's a sled for push and pull. My squat safeties, I tend to use those mostly for incline pressing. Those are not my dumbbells. Nephew moved back in, so he brought some of his stuff in, threw him back here with the rest of it. I got the Titan log here, Husafell stone, and kind of hidden behind it is the Yoke. I haven't been training Yoke the last couple of months, as that's not currently one of my focuses. I'm working on overhead primarily. So that's currently back there. I'll probably be implementing it in the next couple of weeks. But that's currently that, with a chalk bowl, with a tiny lily piece of chalk. Rest of them are there. I just trying to keep the chalk dust down with all the rest of it. My little DIY deadlift jack. Saw something online that they had out in England, and I want to test it out. Proof of concept, works decently well. I'll make a couple alterations. I'll probably make a new one in the next couple of weeks, and I'll have a tutorial video on making that deadlift jack. It's nice, compact, doesn't take up any space, and it surprisingly handles a lot of weight. So, that, and then I do have that big ass guy over there is my sandbag loading platform that's set up for my cage, so I can have adjustable heights, and it takes up less space than building a giant wall of different size, different height sandbag platforms. So that's kind of my setup for one car garage, home gym, primarily strongman gym. It's primarily what I'm focusing on. Don't do a lot of powerlifting, I guess, or bodybuilding stuff as much. I do squats, deadlifts, bench press every once in a while here and there. I do more incline as I have more carryover for overhead press. So I tend to do that more, but primarily log press, deadlifts, squats. Those are the main ones I work on. And then I'll throw sandbags every once in a while. Especially if I'm trying to work on building up my deadlift, I'll throw sandbags in more often. And then I'll do a little bit yokes just to kind of change it up and work slightly different muscle groups to tie everything together, more compound motions. But that's my little setup here. I'm limited on space due to having very much a pretty decently stocked wood shop with way too many tools. Ideally, I would like to turn this basically 3-car garage into, all home gym, but unfortunately, I do tend to do woodworking, and that does require quite a bit of space. So I am stuck to this corner. I did originally start with just a yoke with some J-cups on it and some squat safeties, and that was my bench, my squat rack, and I had that all outside. So I had the the Dick's fitness gear or whatever, iron plates out in our salt air, and then I got some bumper plates. Those lasted a little bit better, but having it outside, the bar didn't do the greatest out there, but is only out there for about 6 months. But the salt air and the fog is pretty intense out here, so everything rusts really fast. Surprised it wasn't worse than it already is. Even the log got a little bit of it in the salt air. If you can kind of see a little bit of the discoloration, but overall, I mean, it was my first start, and then I got the cage and shoved the cage in the garage in the only spot I had available. And then from there, kind of transitioned, got mats, and then moved the whole home gym setup. Did one squat, and then 6 months after I moved it, I didn't do anything. So these are the first month I've gotten back into it since I moved everything. But that's the setup. Hopefully you guys saw something you guys were inspired to do, change, maybe liked it. Maybe you have some thoughts of what I should do differently. But this is currently the setup I have and work on out of this. But yeah, let me know if you guys have any questions or comments. I did make these chains myself. I do have a separate video about these guys, the weightlifting chains. If you want to check those out, there's another video for that.